video and edit out that first 2 or 3 minutes. So I guess we'll kind of just go back over the whole intro. For those of you that are tuning in for the first time, thanks a lot for letting me know that, by the way. Good thing I checked everything when I did. But for anyone that's going to be tuning in for the first time, if you're looking to join a network of like-minded individuals just looking to, grow a pest control business or any service business really for that matter, a lot of these, tactics that we apply to grow a pest control business specifically, you can apply to really any type of service business, HVAC business, plumbing business, electricians, lawn mowing, lawn care, all that type of stuff. All these type of things that we do with like our Google ads, our Google business page, our website, all that, it's going to apply to all of, the service industry as a whole. So if you're a pest control business specifically, or, an aspiring pest control business owner, of course, you're definitely going to want to tune into the channel and join our Facebook group, which all the links to join all of our free groups and whatnot are in the description box below. But you don't have to be just a pest control business owner to, get a lot of info from this channel that'll help you grow your business. Like I said, everything that we do here, you can essentially plug and play whatever type of business you're in. If you're doing lawn care, when we're talking about keywords on Google ads and stuff, for example, instead of pest control, you just do lawn mowing or plumber near me, etc., stuff like that. A lot of this stuff is plug and play, and it'll help you in terms of ad conversions and all that good stuff, as well as the Google business profile side of things, all this stuff, it all, is going to benefit all of us at the end of the day. And like I said, the whole point of this channel is more so just me documenting my journey, growing the pest control business specifically, as well as just, my overall. If you've been following the channel for a while, we got like 400 plus videos. I go way back to when I was like, 19 years old. Started selling stuff on like eBay, Amazon, done it all essentially. At the end of the day, trade stocks, invest in companies, all that type of stuff with any spare money that I do have. Right now, that's kind of on the back burner since the pest control business is kind of my baby right now. It's going to be my ultimate, cash flow machine that's going to, really fund a lot of my future businesses and investments and stuff like that. So that's really where all of my time, money, resources are going right now. And like I said, I'm just kind of documenting, my learning experiences, because I know there's not a lot of pest control companies or even service companies for that matter who, really document their journey and show you guys step by step, like literally from $0, going from 0 to 100K. Because, a lot of people think that going from 0 to 100K is like, difficult, I guess, and it can be. Like, there's a lot that you have to learn. You're not going to go from 0 to 100K, just doing nothing and just pulling the money out of your ass, of course. Like, it's going to take a lot of work and everything, but I'm here to, literally tell you guys, all it takes is just doing what you're doing right now, watching people that have done it, taking their advice, especially the free advice like this. It doesn't get no better than free advice. There's a lot of companies and stuff that of course will charge you, a lot of money for business insights and, marketing and this and that and the other, where, like I said, I'm just kind of documenting everything for you guys. So we'll definitely, keep doing that for you guys. We do these streams pretty much once a week. We've been doing them on like Saturdays or Sundays lately. I think I'm going to keep doing them Saturdays just because that tends to be the best day for me. Sunday, I try to kind of take it easy a little bit in terms of work. I, will answer the phone and get back to people in terms of my business, my pest control business. But other than that, I'm trying to take Sundays kind of off, like just a good little reset day, a Sabbath, so to speak, for those of us that are, Christians and whatnot. Let's see. Got to keep stacking those contracts. Exactly. And learn Google Ads. Yes, yeah. Google Ads definitely helps tremendously. And I guess I'll kind of go over kind of, the last couple days, how we've been doing. By the way, I mentioned to you guys a while back that I mentioned my little notebook. This is like the little notebook I was referring to you guys about a couple weeks ago when I was talking about, coming up with a power list every single day, a to-do list essentially. I got this idea actually from Andy Frisilla. He's a very, very, very successful business owner. If you haven't heard of him, definitely look him up. He's from the area that I'm from in Missouri. He's from St. Louis, Missouri, and he owns supplement superstores and what else? First Form, all that good stuff. Very successful dude overall. And he came up with this idea of the power list. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, it's very easy to, get lost in all of your to-dos. You can have in a given day 100 different things that you technically need to do, but a lot of stuff can get kind of lost, and next thing you know, something that should have been done, today, the 15th, you don't end up getting to until like May 15th, and you're like, oh shit, I totally forgot about that. And that's what, the power list is all about. It's, you just sit down every night. I like to do it every night just before the next day, so I have my day kind of mapped out. It's pretty straightforward. I just put to-do list for, this one I'm looking at right here was from yesterday, April 14, 2013, and you just list 5 things, just 5 things. You don't need to get crazy with this and put down every single little thing. You just put 5 important things that you need to get done in any given day. For me, for example, I had to add GorillaDesk to my Google Ads account. That was something that had to be done so they could go in there and figure out this whole conversion tracking issue. Otherwise, I can't expect them to fix it. And I kept forgetting to do that. So I put that on my list. And then I put, creating a blog post, because a lot of times throughout my day, I just forget to create a blog post. It is what it is. And that's very important, of course, on the SEO side of things. And then I put, of course, my follow-ups, following up with different leads. I had to call a doctor. I've been forgetting to do that for a week or two. And then, of course, just running my stops, and that's my 5 things for my to-do list. And the whole point of that is just to at least organize your most important thoughts, most important things that you need to get done. And then, once you get that done, you can at least have the peace of mind that, hey, I at least got my most 5 important tasks done for the day. If I want to go screw off the rest of the day, I can. Or if I want to, lean into some other things, that gives you the freedom to go ahead and start leaning into other things. So, good idea to get one of these, or, you can get them everywhere. It's just a little cheap little $1 or $2 notebook that you can write notes in and stuff. Don't think PestPack integrates with Google Ads. I don't know. I've had people ask me about, does GorillaDesk, the actual software, does it integrate with Google Ads? And the answer is technically no. So how do I explain this? So I'm running the Google Ads and everything on that end on my own. It doesn't necessarily, integrate with my GorillaDesk CRM side of things, but GorillaDesk is also the company who manages my website for me. So when it comes to, conversion tracking and all that, there's a lot of stuff on the back end that they're having to, go through and fix. If we look up here, we have 3 recording conversions right now, which 2 of them are just calls. One is click to call from the ad. Another one is calling from the actual ad from the website. And then, of course, local actions, which that one I don't even completely understand. But the main one here that they're working on right now for me is when someone submits a lead form, because I've had a lot of lead forms being submitted since we've had this ad running. But as you can see, it's not really tracking the conversions necessarily. So it looks like I'm paying $400 per conversion, but in all honesty, I'm probably paying about $50 to at the max $100 to $100 per conversion. But that's an estimate, because again, we're not able to go in there and actually see the physical conversion, and that's what they're kind of working on their back end. I actually spoke to one of their main technical guys Thursday on a Zoom meeting, and got them added and everything. So hopefully, like I said, they'll be getting on this, within the next few days. Let's see. Give you referral stats. Yeah, no, I have a self-hosted site as well. Well, I say self-hosted. I was using, when we very first started the business, I used what is it, Weebly? It's like through Square, essentially like a Square website. Wasn't a horrible website for, just getting started, especially for the price. It was only like $100 to $200 a year, which included the price of your domain and everything. And they actually still host my domain technically. It's like $20 a year or something like that, and I paid for 5 years or something like that to get a better discount. But then we went over to they're more of an SEO company. I forget the name of them now off the top of my head. Another guy owns a local company referred me to them. GoSite. It was the name of them. GoSite. It was like $1,000 or so, 1,000 to 1,400, something like that per year. It was just a slightly better host and website. You at least had you could chat with them 24/7 through their platform and stuff. It like I said, it was a little step up, but it wasn't the end all be all. I didn't really think it was worth that much money, in all honesty. And then I hopped over to Gorilla Desk, and they've been pretty damn good overall. I wish they would give me more access to things. I feel like this whole conversion tracking issue would have been solved, in all honesty, if they would have just given me more access instead of me having to chat with two different people within Gorilla Desk. It's causing a little bit of a backup for me, but I do like their customer service is great. They don't take, usually for the most part, very long to get back to you or anything like that. I forget how much the price is overall. It's like $250 a month, so it's a little bit more expensive. You're talking $2,000 to $3,000 a year, but like I said, you're speaking with the best people there every time you're contacting them. You're not just talking to some bot or some person from India or something like that. Like, you're talking to the actual people here that run the show at Gorilla Desk, essentially. Plus the fact that I'm already using them for our CRM side of things too. I hope in the future they are going to actually full on link their CRM and the website. That way it'll just make everything a lot smoother. I have noticed recently when I'm putting in leads, it will almost automatically somehow manage to tell this lead came from the website or organic. So they may already be in the works of that. I don't know, but hopefully in the near future they'll be able to link it to where their website and CRM will just kind of go one in one. I'm sure it's not the most important thing on their to-do list, just because you gotta think they have hundreds, if not thousands, of pest control companies, pool companies, etc., that are just using their CRM and not the website. For every 100 companies, I bet that use their CRM, probably only a couple of us also use the website services. So I'm sure it's probably not number one on their to-do list, but it'll definitely be awesome, if they ever, end up getting that done as well. Yeah, I've heard of PestPac as well. Did they actually, I thought they went through a name change. I thought they were bought out by somebody, or maybe they were the one that did the buying out, maybe. I don't remember. There's always so much movement with these pest control related companies and CRMs and all that stuff. They're always buying each other out and everything. And I was trying to think if before I got started with everything, if I forgot to mention anything else. Of course, like I said, if you're not already in our Facebook group, that's totally free to join. Same thing with our Discord. And then lastly, we're trying to get to 1,000 TikTok followers. Once we get to 1,000 TikTok followers, I'll be able to also go live on TikTok. So I know there's a lot more people on TikTok than YouTube anymore. Trying to reach a lot of technicians, because I believe there's a lot of great technicians, salesmen, termite techs, etc., that could definitely run their own business, even if they just want to be a one-man show. Like I said, we're going to be talking about today how to take your business from $0 to 100,000. How you can do it with the least amount of money. Obviously, it's still going to take money to make money. You're not going to go from 0 to 100K with no money, but the more people we can reach, the better. Subdivision of Salesforce. Oh, okay. So yeah, with that, we'll just go ahead and get started. I don't actually want to, you know what, since I'm already on Google Ads, no, actually I'm going to stick to what I want to start with, which is the best way whenever you're first starting your pest control business and you have no money or very little money to get started is you're going to want to start up your Google business profile. It's totally free to do. You'll want to just go to, I forget the actual name of like what you want to look up. I think it's just like Claim My Business. Yeah, you just type in Claim My Business on Google. Of course, there's a bunch of sponsored stuff that's going to go on there, and then Google will literally tell you how to do it. Usually on the computer is the main way that you're going to be able to do that. From there, in the search bar, enter your business. If Google has already kind of created a business profile for you, which sometimes they will, you can go ahead and claim that business. Sometimes you have to go in there and add it. So, just go through that step by step. It's totally free and easy to do. And then from there, what you'll be able to do, you'll have this actual setup here once you sign into the account that you're managing that business profile with. You'll be able to see everything from editing your profile to reviews, any messages your business received. You can add your photos, look at performance. Do not do the advertising through here, but that's there. Q&As, looking at phone calls that could have been missed, editing your services, which is something you'll definitely want to do. The main thing is you want to optimize this. You want to use every little ounce of potential keyword filling that is possible. We've talked about this once or twice before on streams, but this is very, very critical in terms of trying to get free leads for your business. I can't stress enough, like if we go into performance here, you never want to pay attention to the in-month numbers because they're always behind, usually by like at least a few days at the minimum. You can see here, these are overall business profile interactions. So this includes, calls, bookings, people that ask for directions, which of course with a pest control business, you're not really going to have any outside of if you're, entering it yourself. Website clicks, all that good stuff. So let's look at website clicks, for example. You can see here, we are averaging anywhere between, usually with the exception of December, which is always, relatively a low month, 30 to 50 website clicks per month. Even in the end month of April, where like I said, this is probably going to be days, if not a week behind, you can see we're already at 21 website clicks from our business profile. So that just means, for example, if someone types in, we'll just say pest control near me, for example. So what they're going to see is this little map. So wherever you are located, that's what Google's going to base this map pack based off of. So what it means whenever you look at website clicks, that means that people saw your listing and clicked on your website. So from there, we go back over here. That means that last month we had 52 views from our website just from this totally free Google listing. And then when we look at phone calls, that definitely tends to fluctuate a lot more. I'm not going to lie. Some months it'll be really low, which is obviously going to be your winter months. And then usually in the summer months, this will be anywhere between, for us, anywhere between, on the lowest ends, 15 to 20, and on the highest end, 30 to 40 calls. But think about if just in terms of phone calls alone, you received 20 to 40 phone calls. That's 20 to 40 leads, essentially. Now, I'm going to tell you up front, there's going to be some spam BS calls. I would say about 1 in 5 to 1 in 6. So let's just take 20% off. That would take off, about 4 or 5 calls. So you're still talking 18 legit leads last month where people literally called. And then on top of that, you have the website clicks. Let's say, your conversion rate is 10% on the low end. That's another 5 to 10 leads roughly. We'll just say 5 leads. So you're talking 20, 25 leads last month from this Google business listing alone. And you can just work the math out from there to see how much money per month you can gain for your business from this business profile. Like I said, this is totally free. It just takes time. The main thing you're going to want to focus on is making sure in this services tab, you go through here and enter using something like ChatGPT, a optimized description of this service. And you can put in prices and stuff like that if you want to. You don't have to. Utilizing the Q&A. Usually what I'll do is I'll log into like my wife's profile, and every so often, you can see it's been about a year. I probably should update this in all honesty. I'll usually log into like my wife's Gmail, and then I'll just ask some questions, about the business. And then again, from there, you can, this is a prime example. What location do you service? Boom, keywords, Roy City, Garland, Richardson, Murphy, all of that good stuff. That way, again, you're just keyword stuffing, essentially, is all you're doing. You want to utilize every potential to keyword stuff with this. Obviously, you don't want to get out of control with it. You don't want to, make a fake name. You want your business name to be legit and all of that good stuff. But utilize this the best you can. Add your products in here, which would be your services. Fill out this description. Again, keyword stuff it. Again, make it to where it makes sense. Use something like ChatGPT to make sure that it's, search engine optimized, but that it still plugs in all those keywords and areas you service. Update your listing frequently with different types of updates. Again, using something like Canva. Canva you can use for free. However, I would suggest using the $20 a month version. It's totally easy to use. You can see I use it even for our YouTube channel. It's super easy to sit around there and play with it and make different ads and stuff like that. And use that for your Google listing as well. You should update this. You should try to update this at least once a week. In all honesty, what I usually do is we use another platform called Loomly, and you can go in here and literally schedule posts essentially. And that one, if I remember right, is like $30 a month. But even if you're trying to cut on spending, don't even worry about Loomly. Just go in here once a week and go in there and just literally post. I mean, as long as you're just posting frequently, that's all that Google wants to see, and they'll reward your business for that. And then the most important thing, of course, you knew we couldn't not mention this, is reviews. You have to get reviews on a consistent basis. You can see here we just got a review 3 days ago. You need to be getting reviews on a very, very recent basis and reply to the reviews. The replying to the review is where, again, you can keyword stuff. So I told them, appreciate you trusting our company name with your termite treatment and all pest control needs. So we utilize termite treatment and pest control and all that stuff. And if possible, I mean, I know it's not necessarily something that you're going to talk to a customer about, but if you and a customer, that customer owns a business or something like that, or they do marketing and stuff like that, it's a very good opportunity to mention to that customer, hey, I'd really appreciate if you leave us a review, and if you could mention the service that we performed for you, that really helps us in terms of the search engine. I'm sure you understand. And sometimes you'll have customers that will, do that for you. This person said initial treatment, professional, friendly. Let's see. I'll see if there's anything else. So that one wasn't really a good example. But a lot of time, I won't say a lot of times, I'd say about 1 in 10 reviews, I'll have a customer do that for us. But I mean, again, just try to get it keyword stuffed as much as possible. But the most important thing, more so than any of the keyword stuffing, is, again, just getting consistent reviews. Don't try to go and get 5 or 10 reviews in one day. You need to try to get reviews consistently. You can see we had one 3 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, or 3 to 4 weeks ago is, about a month ago. And then a month ago would be, 4+ weeks. But you need to be getting reviews very consistently. You don't need to get a bunch of reviews at one time. Google's not rewarding that. Google is rewarding companies that are getting reviews. Ideally 1 review a day, is what you're going to shoot for. Obviously, that's easier once you start getting into busy season. You're getting more customers on a consistent basis. We aim for at least 1 to 2 reviews per week, but I'm mentioning it to everybody who we come in contact with. I even have a business card with a QR code that all they literally have to do is scan it, and then it will take them right to the Google review page. I tell them, I'm like, hey, if you scan this, it takes 30 seconds or less to leave us a review. I would greatly appreciate it, and we'll give you $5 off your next service if you leave us a review. So by getting reviews alone, you will notice that your listing will shoot up the list. And a good way to check this is by using the platform, oh my gosh, what is it? Bright Local. And we've talked about Bright Local, I believe, once or twice on the channel as well. This is another platform that you will have to pay for, but this one I believe is really, really worth it, just because the amount of insight that you get from this tool is amazing. So, and I'm to the point now where like we're starting to zoom out on our search. This is like a 3 miles. So this is a 9-mile radius chart. It's all going to depend based on your location. So as you can see, once you start getting towards Plano, Garland, Richardson, etc., these are very highly populated areas with a lot of competition. And our business location is not right in the center. So you're always going to rank the best within about a 1-mile radius or less of your business. As soon as you publish your listing, you're going to show up number 1 within about a 1/4-mile radius or so of your business location. And then from there, you're just going to drop off crazy. For example, we have another location. I'll show you guys an example because, this is a location that we don't really, pay a lot of attention to. Okay, I did not mean to do that. Let's do locations overview. So let's go to our Plano listing. And you can see, even though we're not even messing with this listing, we still get like 5 to 10 calls per month. Come on, I wanted to manage it, man. Oh, there we go. So when we scroll down here, let's see, rankings. So this is a more realistic example of what to expect. We haven't even refreshed this in over a month. But, for example, this is one with the spacing of each dot is 1 mile. You can even tell by how zoomed in the map is too. But this is a better, look of what to expect. So these dots are only 1 mile apart. And like I said, we don't even really manage this location that well. We don't really, the last time we got a review was like 6 months ago. Just to put in perspective, we're probably not even going to have that location much longer because we're not even, we didn't renew our lease there or anything, but we're going to go ahead and utilize it as long as we can, of course. But look at how quick we drop off to number 12. Literally within a 2-mile radius, we drop off to number 12. You want to be in the top 3, which, like I said, this is a very good tool to look at that kind of stuff. And I'll even do this for you guys just to show you kind of how it looks. Plus, I'm kind of curious because it's been, like I said, a month since we've even looked at this. It doesn't take very long either. In terms of pricing, I forget the exact price. I want to say it's something like $25, maybe $30 a month. This tool, like I said, it's a great tool. There's so much stuff in here that you can utilize. You can link up your Google Analytics, social. It'll track all these different things for you. Citation tracker. There's even a citation builder, which say you don't have the money to pay like a local SEO company to do the local SEO, which is like publishing your listings in Yelp, all the directories essentially, Yellow Pages, all of that good stuff. We've actually gone up a little bit. That's surprising. Say you don't have the money to pay somebody for local SEO, you can go in there and actually, pay Bright Local to, help you build these citations so you will show up better in the rankings. So you can see overall, I don't know. Our rankings did go up a little bit because this was at 12. It's now at 8. This was at 4, I think. We can look at each one. And that's the other thing too, is like you can go back super far and like track your progress. So it's pretty cool to like see. So yeah, this didn't change, but this went up 4 rankings, and our rankings went up overall. How much did it say? From 13.5 to 12.8. That's a pretty good bump overall, in all honesty. I'm surprised we went up at all. We're like in the top 8 overall for average rankings. And yeah, you can even like spy on your competitors, see who you know that you will probably be ranking better than. I don't know why this is saying 0 reviews when I know Allsafe has a lot of reviews, so that's kind of weird. But whole point being, this is what you can kind of expect whenever you're first opening your business is, within a mile radius, you're probably going to rank pretty good. And you can even see right here, 1 mile radius, we dropped from 1 to 8, from 1 to 11, 1 to 7. So that's more realistically what to expect. This other listing we have that you all seen a minute ago, that listing has been established now since November of 2020. So it's almost a 3-year-old listing, where this listing is barely a year old and it hasn't even been managed well. On top of that, like I said, I'm surprised we've even gone up in rankings at all, to be honest. But even in rodent control, apparently we're ranking pretty well. Yeah, I mean, that's surprising, in all honesty. Yeah. But anyways, a very, very good platform to use. They give you a certain amount of credits and all that good stuff. Like I said, the citation builder is something that a lot of you guys who will be first starting your company will definitely want to utilize. You can go in there and, it's kind of, let's see. So, let's see, we can do this. And then we can do this. It's making me like go step by step. But usually what they would do, they must have updated the website. Usually what they'll do is show you all the different citations. I forget how many they can do. I think it's like 75 different citations they can build for you. And again, what you're doing with citations is building your credit with Google. So Google wants to see that you're a legit business. And the way that they're going to know that you are a legit business is by having all these different listings online that show, the same address, the same phone numbers, the same business hours, all that kind of stuff. So whenever you have a bunch of stuff like that, it shows Google that you're a legit business, and Google's going to be more likely, 1, to rank your website, and then 2, your Google business listing as well. So that's why, like I said, Bright Local is definitely one of the things that as soon as you're able to afford it, I would try to get on that as soon as possible. But in terms of like free advice, fill out this profile the best you can and get on top of getting reviews from day one. Even like whenever because of course I know what your questions are probably going to be. How do I get reviews when I don't have any customers? When you're very first getting started, I don't care who you get a review from. You can get a review from me for all I care. Like if you need a review, go in our Discord group chat and say, hey guys, can you leave me a review? Now, I wouldn't try to you don't want to get tons of like quote unquote fake reviews or anything like that. But when you're first getting in, and of course, the most important thing too is going to be, where are these people that are leaving you reviews? Google's not stupid. If somebody's leaving you a review from, Missouri, and you have a business in Texas, that could throw up some red flags for sure. So if you're able to get reviews from people that are closer to you, say you have a business in Florida, and you have some family in Florida, I would send your listing to a couple family members and say, hey, could you leave me a review? Do not mention that you're a family member or anything like that, of course. If you need to, literally make a specific review for that family member, send it to them and say, hey, can you just copy and paste this leave me a 5-star review and paste this into your review and submit it for me. I greatly appreciate it. And, get to at least 5 to 10 reviews as quick as possible. Like I said, if possible, try to stagger them a little bit, because review velocity is a big thing with Google. Like we said, it's not about how many reviews you can get, it's how consistently you can get them reviews. If you can get 1 review a day within the first week or 2 of your business listing, you're going to shoot up the rankings relatively quickly, assuming you're doing everything else that we were talking about with, making sure that you publish a post, add some photos, add some products, all of that good stuff. That's going to be the main way that you're going to, build some credit with Google very quickly. And from there, you'll at least start getting at least a couple of calls. This is where I get so annoyed with Google, because when you go to look at your performance, you can only go 6 months back. I wish I could show you guys like just a year or 2 ago. The closest I can get to that is I can show you like March of 2023, and it'll tell you, this is up 34.5% versus March of 22. And then, February was up 37%. Like, you can look at month to month comparisons, but it's very hard. Like, it's pretty much impossible to get an idea in terms of like a look at a graph, essentially, in terms of, I like being able to look at just month by month over years, where Google only allows you to look at like your last 6 months, essentially. So that's the most annoying thing, I would say, when it comes to this platform. If they could at least make it where you could adjust it as far back as your opening of your business, that would be awesome. They used to a long time ago, when it was called, what was it called? Google My Business is what it was called. They did away with Google My Business, and now it's just the Google Business Profile Manager. Which, like I said, I don't really care for it as much as Google My Business, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So overall, though, it is a very cool tool. Like I said, you're still able to at least go in there. You can see, for example, website clicks are up 63% from March year over year. February up 82. So you can at least get an idea of year over year what your different, metrics are up, year over year. But like I said, I still like seeing it in terms of a graph where I can see, the staircase effect, essentially. So yeah, in terms of, like I said, the free advice on getting your business to $0 to $100,000, that is going to be your most important thing, is your Google business profile. From there, you're going to want to also create a, what is it called? Google Local Services. We've talked about this once or twice before too. So what is Google Local Services? Google Local Services is it's similar to Google Ads, but it's more so, instead of paying for a specific ad, you're going to pay for specific leads, similar to that of, like an Angie's List, or even Yelp in some cases, all of that good stuff. You can see here, we don't even really mess with it that much. I didn't know I had one get archived. I need to put that as completed. It used to be a lot better, I'll put it that way. We don't, like I said, we don't really use it that much anymore, just because it's gotten so expensive in our area. But if you're able to, I'm trying to see if there's a way that I can edit. There used to be a way I could go in here and edit. Let's see, reports. I'm trying to show you guys way back when I first started my business, because here we go. I'm gonna have to go back a ways. Because when you're very first starting a business, I don't remember when they got me started. We'll just say November 8th. When you're very first starting your business, I noticed they are very friendly in terms of their pricing and all of that good stuff. So look at all of these leads that we had coming in. We had as many as 5 leads a day coming in during the prime season. I was hoping that it would show this also. Let me see. Yeah, it must not even be able to show me that now. But back here, I mean, you can see, so look right there. So over a period of how many months was that? November, so about 11 months. So we spent about $1,000 per month. You can see here they also gave us over $1,600 in refunds due to bad leads. And the average cost of undisputed leads was $45. So that's not really bad at all. $45 per average lead that we actually paid for. That is not a bad lead cost whatsoever. Now, like I said, you can see that, we were doing pretty good here. If I remember right, this was when this was right around when I got married and was on my honeymoon for this week or so. And that's the other cool thing. You can pause this at any time. Say you start getting overwhelmed with work, which does happen during busy season, I can promise you that. You can pause this too as needed. And this, like I said, it's a very, very good way to get started. I can tell you guys, when we first got started, we were not paying $45 per lead. We were paying anywhere between as low as $18 to $20 to as much as like $25, $27. And then of course, over time, specifically the last quarter of the year, we started paying a hell of a lot more. And like I said, it was a great platform for at least getting started. I literally credit most of our success, in all honesty, to our first 6 months on Google Local Services. Even though, this probably, a lot of you guys are probably like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. Well, again, we got $1,600 back. So it's under $10,000 for pretty much a whole year. And look at how many leads we had, 248 leads. And we converted well over 50% of those. These leads are usually very, very, very convertible. These are people that are actively looking for somebody to solve their problem. So as long as your prices aren't just outrageous, usually they're going to go with you, assuming you're able to pick up the phone, or sometimes they'll message you, and assuming you can get a hold of them. Which the message leads, I will say, we took the messaging option off. Because those leads were a lot less, the conversion rate was a lot lower. The phone leads, though, I would say those were over 60% conversion. So let's just say, you convert 50% of customers on that. That's about 125 customers, roughly, 120, 125. Of that, I would say probably 75 of them were like recurring service customers. So, just start working the math out on that. That $9,000 to $10,000 after the credit, I mean, it definitely paid for itself. I credit, like I said, a lot of our success due to how the first 6 months or so on Google Local Services treated us, for sure. So it's totally free to make this. However, you're going to start paying per lead. And the beauty of it is you can actually go in here and set a budget. And this will tell you as well, what your, kind of how your, what am I trying to say? Like how your market is. For example, our market is so expensive now, they will not let us set a bid lower than $35 per bid. Back when I first got on Google Local Services, there was no minimum. You could set a minimum of like $5, $15, whatever. You can also set a bid of just, get me the max leads, which means they will charge you whatever they want. We set this because, one, like I said, we're not really using it anymore. Two, about a month or so ago, they charged us $88 for a phone call. I was like, hell no. My Google ads are, being a lot less than that. Like, I'm not paying $88 for a fucking lead. That's just out of control. Like, they've gone completely out of control. And if anyone from Google, sees this, I know they probably won't. You guys are fucking smoking crack on the price of some of these, markets. I've heard there's some markets it's over $125 now. Like, they've gone out of control with their pricing. But the good news for those of you that are new, like I said, when you're newer, they tend to be very friendly with the pricing, and instead they make those of us that have been around for a while, pick up the slack, so to speak. And of course, this is going to depend, I should, say this as well in defense of Google. It depends also on your market. For example, my cousin owns a pest control in the Midwest. He's only paying, he just told me about a week ago, he's only paying about $22 to $30 a lead still. So, and that's specifically for his lawn care. He has lawn care and pest control. The lawn care, he's only paying like $20 a lead. There's only two companies on the Google Local Service platform, TruGreen and his company. Those are the only two companies duking it out for leads. So it makes sense why the leads are so little. I do not recall what his pest control ones are. I believe it's in the 30s, but still relatively low compared to freaking $88, right? So it definitely depends on your market as well, but this can be a very good platform. It's definitely worth, at the bare minimum, creating your profile. What I do like about it too is they make it where people have to prove that their business is legit. So you have to actually go in there and you have to do a background check, proof of insurance. It takes a couple days usually for that. And, that just shows that they're only listing, legitimate businesses essentially. So that I did like that whenever, we were first starting up with Google Local Services. And like I said, if nothing else, it's, something that you should at least create. It's just another listing, if nothing else, because you don't even have to keep this running. You can, pause this, like I said, at any time. And when you pause it, all that it means is, when someone types in pest control near me, you have the Google guaranteed up here. So if you have it paused, and you're about to see how crazy my market is with just how many different companies are on this shit. How's it going, Jesse? So all that it means, so there's my business right there, and look how far down the list we are at $35 a bid. That's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10. Number 10 is the best. Well, we got both of our listings there. So what'll happen is if you have this pause, you'll still show up, but you won't have the green check mark. We do from time to time get calls from this. And it'll even ding, call from Google, that it'll ding in your headphone or whatever you're, talking to the customer on, that it's a call from Google Local Services. And there'll be times where we'll have this pause and it'll say that, and I'll be like, what the fuck? And I'll go to make sure we weren't charged for it because, like I said, it was paused. And we will still get calls from this because, sometimes people just go straight down the list and they're calling everybody, see who has the cheapest price. But sometimes, we get an honest, legit lead out of this just for simply having our business listed on here. So there is potential for free leads out of this. Like I said, it does cost money if you want to, actually get legit business out of it. And like I said, it's just market to market. I'm interested, if you all are in our Discord group chat or on our Facebook group, let me know if you guys have for those of you that already have a pest control business, if you are on Google Local Services, what you are paying per lead and what suburb you're in, because I'm trying to see kind of what everyone is being charged for this, because like I said, it's kind of gotten a little bit out of control in our area, but it is what it is, which leads to our next point in what we've been doing in this stream is kind of going from the cheapest of cheap ways to get leads. We started with the Google Business Profile and all that stuff, Bright Local, things that are free to less than $30 a month to, the most expensive, which is going to be your Google Ads, Google Local Services, which leads to Google Ads. Whenever you're creating your Google ad, first thing I would do is use this totally free. It's in the Google Ads platform. It's called Google Keyword Planner or Google Keyword Plan. And what you'll do is you'll just essentially type in different search terms, and from there, Google will also give you keyword ideas. So for example, I was looking up a lot of stuff to do with mosquito control. That way, and you can even go in here and edit different locations and stuff, because otherwise Google will do it just based on the entire USA. Well, obviously, unless if you have a nationwide pest control company, doing the entire USA is not going to benefit us. So you can literally go in there and edit all of the different search areas you want to, do this keyword planning based off of. And then from there, of course, you can go in and do your different search terms. So let's go ahead and do this, for example, just to give you guys a better idea. So let's just do pest control near me, exterminator, oops, do this again, exterminator, termite service, termite treatment. I did it again. Termite treatment. And then we'll do get results. And then you can go in here and adjust the calendar. I usually do roughly like a rolling, 1 year essentially, just to get a good idea. And you can see here, a lot of these search terms have been on the rise over the last, which makes sense, obviously, because you're coming out of December. And you can see here, for example, pest control. Look at that. Beautiful. Just going up like crazy lately. Up 50% since January of 23, which was what, right here? Where was January of 23? I think January, yeah, right here. So just from here to here, you had a 50% increase. So just think going back to like December, I don't know why it's not letting me click on December, but just from here to here, you had a 50% increase. And that's just for the search term pest control. You look at, for example, what is this? Pest control near me, I believe. Pest control near me, you're up 83% since January of 23. That is a crazy jump. What else do we have? Exterminator. And then you can even see whenever you're doing your Google Ads, what's the competition level. So for the search term pest control, I find it interesting that that is only ranked at a medium, where, the year-over-year change is at 233% to the plus, where pest control near me is rated as high, even though its year-over-year change is only at 49%. You can see, however, that the top of the page bidding is right around $47 per click, where the low range is, about the same as well. And I find it interesting that Exterminator is at $70 when competition's low, and look at the search volume, 1,300 to 320. So what are we going to do? Not use the search term exterminator. And if we do, we're going to set a max price that we're willing to pay, because why the hell would I pay almost double, about 50% more, for a search term that has little to no competition? I'd be setting my price probably at $12 to $15 for the search term exterminator. So, like I said, this is a very good tool. I would definitely suggest you guys, when you're creating your Google ad, even me, I need to go in here for our ad and make sure we're not overpaying for any search terms or anything like that, because our cost per bid has definitely gone up. We're paying about $30 to $35 per click right now, which isn't the end of the world. When you look at some of these search terms, we're kind of, to the higher end, but nothing out of this world. Like I said, the more you're going to pay, usually the better quality of the click, better conversion rate at the end of the day. And, when you go and look at our ad, this is from this past week. We run our ad 3 to 4 days a week. You can see, like I said, we're paying about $33 per click right now. Our CTR was 5.33. I'm very happy with that. If you look at it from the previous week, we were only at 2.89. In the week before that, we were at 2.46. So, like I said, as we get this ad more and more dialed in, you can definitely see that, this is pretty much the best week that we had from this ad. I can't complain at all. I would show you guys kind of like this whole month, but it's gonna mess with your CTR because it's factoring in these 0 days, which we don't run our ad on Friday, Saturday, Sunday anyways. So this is gonna, drag down your CTR overall. At least I believe so. I'll have to check with Google about that, but I believe whenever you do it like that, you're lowering your CTR, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I might be wrong on that because 3.62 seems kind of high based on how the ad was performing early on. But like I said, either way, overall, what I like to see is that our CTR is higher than our clicks. What do I mean by that? For example, Monday, April 10th, we had 4 clicks, CTR was 9.3. So when I have 4 clicks, I want to have at least a bare minimum of a 4% CTR. Here's another one, 4 clicks, 6.7, 2 clicks, 2.47, that just barely made the cut, 3 clicks, 5%. These are the days that I don't like, where, 3 clicks, less than 3%, 1, yeah, I mean, we do pretty good overall on my rule when it comes to that. But overall, I want my CTR to be obviously as high as possible. When your CTR is high, that's usually a high indicator of, a pretty good performing ad overall. Now, just because you have a high CTR doesn't mean you're going to have high conversions, of course, but, you still have to have a good enticing, some type of call to action, or, something, a hook that gets their attention, like $50 off, or, get your instant quote, whatever the case may be, something that's going to cause them to submit a form, call you, whatever the case may be. But having a good CTR, is usually a pretty good indicator of how your ad is performing. And like I said, this past week overall is the most impressed that I've been with this ad so far. Even though our cost per click has gone up a little bit, you can see our search terms that we're showing up for is exactly what we want to show up for. Termite treatment, we had 3 clicks out of that. Pest control, we had a couple clicks. Pest control company, that's a 66% CTR, 2 clicks on 3 impressions. Best pest control company, 100% CTR, even though, it's just 1 impression. But we're showing up for, stuff that we want to show up for at the end of the day. So definitely happy overall with how that ad is still performing. You can see here we're doing better than the 2 main competitors in the area, Terminix and Allsafe Pest Control. My impression share is almost 26%. Top of the page rate is almost 70%. Terminix's impression share is 16%. They're outranking me, or like we're overlapping, or they're outranking me, a quarter of the time or less. And then what's interesting is their top of the page rate is slightly higher than me. That is interesting, but I'm still getting the larger share of impressions. And then of course, Allsafe, they're really not even close right now, which more than likely just tells me that, they're just not spending as much in terms of ads per day, which is interesting to me, because they're one of the bigger companies here. As for Terminix, I don't know. Their ad might just suck. I don't know. I doubt it. Being a multi-billion-dollar corporation, you'd think they'd have good ads. I've seen some Facebook ads from Terminix lately that look pretty good. So, and we're only spending, like I said, $100 a day, I think, is our ad budget on this ad. So, yeah, no, I'll definitely keep you guys updated on that in terms of how this ad continues to perform, and if we make any changes, anything like that. We didn't really make a whole lot of changes this past week. The main thing we did was kind of, we took out a lot of fluff in terms of search terms that we wanted to show up for. We're sticking mostly to, termite, pest control, mosquito control, all of that type of stuff. Where before we had a lot of like the cities entered in, when we found out that the search volume surprisingly was very low for that. So very low, which means the cost per click was very high. So we took a lot of that out, and as you can see now, we're kind of just showing up more so for these broader terms like pest control, termite treatment, all of that type of stuff. So yeah, other than that, that was pretty much all we did for that. And this is, like I said, definitely going to be your more expensive route of going about getting customers. If I were to rate, from the best to quote unquote the worst ways of getting customers, I would say the best way you're going to go about getting customers is through your Google business profile. I've had 2 today alone that we signed up for quarterly pest control. One is paying per service, the other one is paying month to month. So one is paying, let's pull up our calculator here and just see what our Google business profile got us today. So the one guy is going to pay $129 per service, a pretty small home overall. So that gained us $516 a year, and that's if we never raise the price again. And then the other guy, he's paying $129 and then $39 a month going forward. So that means in his first year, he will pay $558, so plus $516. That means in terms of contract value, our Google business profile, totally free, pretty much no lead money in there whatsoever. We just gained $1,074 of yearly contract value. And like I said, that assumes that, of course, they don't cancel, which our cancel rate is next to nothing. The only time people cancel is if they're moving or they lost a job. They never cancel, to cancel or switch companies at the end of the day, because we're just not at that scale yet where we're really seeing anything like that. But this assumes that they're not canceling and that we never ever raise the price, which we normally raise the price on a year-to-year basis based on inflation. And everybody knows that, to expect a price increase from us not necessarily 1 year on the dot, but usually within a year and a half, they know to expect a price increase from us. And it's nothing crazy. Usually we're raising it, if a customer is paying monthly, we'll raise it like $2 or $3 a month. Or if they're paying per service, we'll raise it maybe $5 a quarter. Or if they're paying per year, we may raise it anywhere between $20 to $50 a year. It's nothing that's like, oh man, like you really jacked the price up on me all of a sudden. Like it's nothing crazy like that. Unless of course, if they're a customer who they're not taking our advice, they're wanting us to treat inside every single time, high maintenance, something like that, then of course their rates are going to go up a lot more. Because it's like, hey, if you're wanting to tell us how to do our job when we're the professional at the end of the day, you're going to pay for it. It just is what it is. But to put in perspective of why I think the Google business profile, going back to that, why this is the best way to get customers, like I said, these numbers that we're referring to, these are totally free leads. Let's go over here to Gorilla Desk, go over here to reports. Let's see. So we got, and when I say Google, that means our Google listing. So about 50% of customers. So this year we've added, 16, 35, 66, 81. 81 customers so far. And again, 81, about, 48%. So 81 times 0.48. So pretty much 39 customers from that Google listing. Out of that 39, I would say, 50% of them, at the minimum, 50% of them signed up for, some type of yearly recurring service with an average contract value of about $500. So, that was 19 and a half. Let's just go with 19. I would rather underestimate. So 19 customers, and again, this is I'm lowballing the hell out of myself on this, but 19 customers just from our Google listing alone, not including all the other stuff. This is just from the Google listing alone. we got about $9,500 per year so far. Only a quarter into the year so far. So if you do that over the next 4 quarters, you just added 38. You're looking at roughly, this is again just a low estimate here, $38,000 per year of money that you can add to your business just by optimizing your Google business listing. And again, we're doing that based on $500 a year. I just showed you guys that those 2 guys that I referred to, they're paying about, $525 a year. So I mean, if you just do kind of the quote unquote realistic numbers on that, that's over 10 grand. So you're actually looking closer to 40K plus a year. And again, like I said, this is just kind of me assuming just the 50% number. If the number is actually like 60%, the numbers start adjusting by thousands even, higher. I just want to, anytime I do these type of examples for you guys, I always just like to kind of low estimate everything. That way, I'm not like blowing up the numbers to make them, blow smoke up your all's ass or anything like that. But this is real stuff. Like, this is what you can actually expect. When I go in to my sales forecast and all of that stuff, you can see that our sales forecast is only about 117,000 this year, but that's before selling anything throughout the year. January was our worst month. It always is. February was up almost 50%. March was actually down slightly. April is on pace to the minimum match April of last year, if not higher. And then, of course, I'm just waiting to see kind of how the rest of the year unfolds in terms of future sales. And then when we look at our sales forecast going into 2024, I don't believe we're quite at 100K on our recurring yet. We're almost. Wow, we're knocking on the door now. But that's the game plan at the end of the day. When we go back and look at our new customers, you can see here we are literally getting pretty much half of our customers from our Google business listings. And our call rail even shows that, essentially. When we look at our call rail, which is something I definitely suggest you guys get for your Google business profiles. Let's see. Go into the analytics here. And I'll do future videos on all these different types of platforms and stuff, because I know we've gone over quite a bit. Now we're going over CallRail. We talked about Loomly. We talked about Bright Local. The Google Business Profile, Google Ads, Google Local Services. There's so many different things out here, but that's the name of the game. There's never ending amount of stuff. So you can see here, look at that, Google Business Roulette. Last 7 days, 8 calls. The previous 7 days, 19 calls. This email ad, these are scam calls because the ad's not even running. Even our Google business up in Plano, that's gotten us 6 calls within the last 14 days. I love using this because it'll show you a breakdown of everything. But overall, like I said, guys, I cannot stress enough, your Google business profile can literally take you to, I don't want to say like the promised land or anything. You're going to have to do more like Google Ads, Google Local Services, even Facebook ads. But if I were to rank everything from best to, most important to least important, especially in terms of your dollar per dollar, your return on investment, Google business profile through the roof, most important thing possible. Next would probably be Google Ads, in all honesty, just because Google Ads is not as, the algorithm isn't as crazy and whatnot as Google Local Services is. After Google Ads would probably be Google Local Services, and then right after Google Local Services, you could kind of, branch off to all the other things like Facebook ads, Yelp ads, all the stuff that you're going to kind of just experiment with. I've had some guys, swear by Yelp, other guys who say they hate Yelp. I have no experience with Yelp. I don't plan on ever using Yelp ads, but some people love it. Some people swear by Facebook ads. I've done a few Facebook ads, don't really see a huge return on investment, but it's a good tool to use, in my opinion, for reaching people in terms of just hitting them over the head with your name over and over for brand recognition. Because I love being able to see, people have seen your ad on average 2.5 times or whatever the case may be, and the cost is very cheap for those type of ads. Then of course you have things like Angie or Angie's List, whatever it is. It used to be Home Advisor. I think it's called Angie now. Some people swear by it, some people hate it. So once you get past, Google Business Profile, Google Ads, Google Local Services, and then of course your local SEO and your website SEO, you can't forget about that, of course. But after you get past those 3 or 4 things, from there you just start branching off into everything else, such as, like we were talking about, and that's more so the digital side. We could also get into chamber of commerce, networking, as well as, door hangers, door-to-door sales. There's so many ways you can get customers, but I'm just, again, going off of my experience primarily. The top things are going to be your Google Business Profile listing, your Google Ads, your Google Local Services, your website SEO, then probably, Facebook marketing, and then everything else. Speaking of Facebook marketing, get into your local Facebook groups, like your neighborhood groups. If you're in populated suburbs and stuff like that, there's usually going to be different neighborhood groups you can join, even different suburbs that, have their own specific business networking listings where like people literally just go in there and say, this is my business. If you want to, get a quote from me, give me a call. There's literally groups for everything anymore with Facebook. Same thing with that app Nextdoor. Free advertising at the end of the day. So other than that, I think that's pretty much it for today's stream. I know we've been going for a while already. Hopefully, the stream has been keeping up, and because I think I gave you all some good content today. If you did enjoy the stream, definitely make sure to hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. It helps the stream and helps the channel out big time. And if you're new to the channel, like I said, definitely consider hitting the subscribe button below and hit the bell icon. We're coming up on 1,600 subscribers already. Appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. And like I said, if you're not already in our Facebook group, feel free to join that. It's in the description box below, as well as our totally free Discord group chat as well. We'd love to have you in there and just network with you as well. And then of course follow me on TikTok. We're trying to get to 1,000. That way we can start doing the live streams. I already have, a little tripod ready to go for whenever we can start doing TikTok streams as well. And of course, I do post some exclusive content on TikTok from time to time as well, just to give you all another reason to go follow over there. But of course, if you're seeing this after it uploads and you have any questions that you'd like me to answer in the next Q&A, feel free to shout it out in the comments below, and I will get to them in the next week's Q&A. And make sure, like I said, hit the bell icon. That way you'll be notified when we do that next live Q&A, so you won't miss that or any future videos. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there, making your money, investing your money, growing your business, and achieving the life that you and your family deserve this year. God bless all y'all. Have a good rest of the weekend. And